Everyone, it's Raj from 3CB. Arsenal starting left back Kieran Tierney has missed the club's last 3 games after picking up an ankle knock versus Crystal Palace. He had been training prior to both the Aston Villa game and the Carabao Cup versus Leeds, but was then not in group training leading up to the Leicester City Match, which he missed out on as well. The most recent update comes from manager Mikel Arteta, who says that the player still has discomfort and pain while trying to run on that ankle. The question becomes, just how concerning is the injury? To understand that, we first have to understand some unique properties about the foot and ankle in rehabilitation. First and foremost, foot and ankle injuries involve significant gray area and tend to fluctuate very quickly, whether it's good or bad. And that's due to multiple reasons. Firstly, is because the foot is your only direct contact point with the ground, so it takes on direct ground reaction forces, GRF, in multiple planes. Secondly, the foot is actually quite complex mechanically. There's a rear foot, there's a midfoot, and there's a forefoot as well, which take on different forces, which operate in different ways, and also interact with each other. And then thirdly, in football in general, the foot is obviously used in multiple ways, and it requires a high level of strength and mobility, which of course puts extra demands on that foot and ankle complex as well. For that reason, even injuries that are first considered mild can then morph into longer term injuries, whether not handled quite as well up front, or whether they just evolve over the first few days or weeks into something more serious than anticipated. For example, with Arsenal last year, Martin Odegaard played through a grade 1 ankle sprain after just 1 day, and he played 1 club game as well, but then he missed multiple weeks with club irritation. Another example of international tournament is Manchester City's Phil Foden, who injured his foot during the semifinals of the Euros, but was initially thought to be available for the finals, but then it ended up missing 2.5 to 3 months. A similar injury to Tierney's is Manchester City's Ferran Torres, who picked up a knock to the foot, was initially thought to be okay, and he actually played in the Nations League final, but then it was discovered he actually has a small fracture in that foot and will miss 2.5 to 3 months as well. So that brings us back to Kieran Tierney. Based on the progression of events, the fact that he's been held out, of course, but more so the fact that he's gone from group training now to not group training, it's very likely that he's not progressing as the physios were hoping with his pain and discomfort level, and therefore they are being very conservative and methodical with his return to play. And this year, as compared to last year, the team has a very solid backup left back in Nuno Tavares, who has shown some very promising signs, and the key reason they went out and got that depth. It not only helps on the pitch, but it helps off the pitch as well, taking pressure off Kieran Tierney, the managerial staff, and the training and physio staff to get him back quickly and not have to rush him back, because you know that form on the pitch isn't going to take a dive like it did last year when Tierney was missing. Overall for Tierney, of course, I'll update you as we get more information, but a really good indicator is that he's still being allowed to run. So this doesn't sound like it's something that's overtly structural, but rather it's an issue where he has to be able to get through some of that pain and discomfort before he's cleared for further activities.